Hello duelists, welcome to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Guide to Dark Savior's Sky-Soaring Friends for Hire, comprised of anthropomorphic animals that ranges from small to big of different species, each coming from their own unique backgrounds. But don't let their looks deceive you. Alone they're weak, but together there's no foe they can't defeat. My name is Yugioh and I shall be your Archetype guide. I will be going over the following topics throughout the video, giving a general overview and a small summary of the archetype as well. Do note this video takes the recently announced support for the archetype into consideration. The names of the new cards may not match the official localized version. With that out of the way, let's begin. Introduced in the 2018 booster pack, the Fur Hire makes their debut in Dark Saviors alongside Sky Striker. The playstyle of the Fur Hire revolves around summoning many different Fur Hire names onto the field, establishing a board presence as quickly as possible to snowball into an overwhelming advantage over your opponent. The more members Fur Hire on the field, the stronger their effects become. One important gimmick that you have to put into consideration while playing the archetype is that a handful of monsters for hire must be summoned in sequence, not at once. A few cards in the archetype have unique card text in order to facilitate these gimmicks. The oversimplified way to know if it's a sequential summon is that these cards share the word then. Failing to do that will result in your cards unable to activate their effects. The strength of this crew revolves around their versatility: search, pop, negate, banish, protection, recursion, and many more. Each member have unique effect that takes a duelist who knows this crew inside out to be able to make full use of those abilities to get the edge over your opponent. But they're not without weaknesses. The Fur Hires struggle to play against hard negates and floodgates. Specific hand traps like Droll and Lockbird and Nibiru the Primal Being can also weaken the edge board for our Skyfaring friends, as well as devastating choke points. So it's generally recommended when building a deck with this crew, you have to keep those in mind. But once the duelists have the full knowledge of each of the members' strengths and weaknesses, only the sky's the limit. First up, the monsters. The monsters lineup is separated into three categories: low-level members, the high-level members, and the link members. We'll start off with the low-level members. Consisting of level 4 or lower monsters for hire, most have the same ignition effect of being able to special summon another name except for themselves. And upon having another monster for hire summoned, they have different effects. Beat can search another monster, Philo can reborn a monster, Dampa can destroy one face-up card while his twin sister Recon can pop one face-down card. Helmer can discard one card for hire in order to draw one card, Bravo can boost 5 with attack defense, and Seal can add a monster for hire name back from your graveyard to your hand. Last but not least, Rex is the only low-level monster that does not share the same ignition effect as the rest of the member. Instead, upon normal or special summon, he can search a spell trap card for hire, and while in the graveyard, he can reborn a monster for hire or add it to your hand instead, if it's a spell or trap card, with the condition where you must control a monster for hire on your field. Rex's graveyard effects is essentially Seal and Philo effects bundled into one. Out of all the lower level monsters here, I will number them by priority of being the most useful to generally not recommended or extremely niche. Rex and Beat are your starter cards. While Rex is generally a better starter than Beat, Beat plus another name can make a higher ceiling boards than Rex does. The siblings, Dampa and Recon, are disruptions. Dampa has seen more use because face-up cards are more common than face-down cards, but Recon can be put in the side deck against trap or face-down deck-heavy matchups. Philo and Seal raises the ceiling of your boards, often excluded as what they offer is what Rex's graveyard effects can do possibly better, but their value has seen risen up thanks to the new support which we'll be going over later. Next, the high-level members, consisting of level 5 or higher. Most of them has effects upon being special summoned that increases in value the more different Fur Hire members you control while giving different benefits or disruptions. Sagita can inflict 500 points of burn damage for each other member's power you control and redirect all card effects from other members for hire to her instead. Dinah can non-target banish cards in your opponent's graveyard and redirect all attacks from other members for hire to Dinah instead. Wiz is the opposite of Sagita, giving you 500 life points for each other members for hire you control and has a spell trap negate by discarding any card for hire. Rafal can excavate card from your deck up to each of the other monsters for hire name you control and add any one of them to your hand, and the opposite of Wiz negates a monster effect by discarding any card for hire. Rex Scale for Hire works differently from their level 5 or higher members by revealing itself and another name in order to summon that first name first, then summon Rex Scale in sequence. And on a non-once per turn, upon your opponent's acting a card from deck to hand by a non-for hire card effect, you can draw one card. The effect here reads in such a way in order to avoid looping draws in a mirror match. Once more, I will number them in terms of priority so you can have a rough idea on which to include in your deck. In almost every duel, you are probably only able to summon one of these monsters, and going by the process of elimination in terms of usefulness, Rafale is at least a must include one of, being able to dig through your deck to continue your plays and the archetype's answer to one of the deck's main weakness, Nibiru. Wiz is an optional monster solely for the spell and trap negate. Dinah's non-target Spanish may appear useful, but is generally slow to disrupt your opponent in any meaningful way. Sagita unfortunately has the least impactful effect, so I generally do not recommend including her. Rex Scale is the Int archetype's extender, mitigating another one's of Fur Hire Core's problem of being normal summon reliant. Last of the monster lineup is the Lynx. All the Link monsters for hire have generic summoning condition, making them extremely easy to summon out. Keel is a Link 2 Water Sea Serpent, and upon Link summon can set any spell trap for hire or the original Fandora from your deck to your field, but locks you out of summoning other monsters except for hire for the rest of the turn. And while in the graveyard during your opponent's turn, as a quick effect, banishes itself to summon one monster for hire from your hand, or one more if your opponents control the highest original attack. Donner is a Link 2 Earth Beast Warrior and contains two effects. The first one is to target one monster for hire you control and one monster your opponents control and destroy both targets. And her second effect is to tribute a monster to special summon a for hire from your hand or graveyard. And if you tributed a Link monster, you can summon one more such monster. Folgo is a Link 3 Dark Beast and cannot be used as Link material. Upon Link summon, you can special summon any monster for hire from your deck that didn't share the same type used for Folgo Link summoning materials. And if cards your opponents control are destroyed by battle or card effects, you can draw one card, or two more if you control at least 3 monsters for hire with different names. All 3 links are a must include in every for hire's strategy. Note that Keel's and Donner's effects are written in a certain way to ensure that the lower levels members affect activation requirements, as I mentioned before, as their effects cannot trigger if summoned at the exact same time. Keel and Folgo can serve as a bridge, pivoting any deck that are able to put 2 to 3 bodies with different types on board to for hire plays. Be wary of Keel's locks and Folgo's restriction, as they can backfire on you if you're not careful with your sequencing. Next, we will go over the spell trap lineup. For hire has 2 field spells. One is the original and one is the retrain. I will go over only the retrain as the original has long been power crept. The first effect is to boost your for hire monsters by 300 attack for each different names you control, boosting up to 1,800 attack. On a hard once per turn, ignition effect, you can add a monster for hire from your deck to your hand, then discard 1 card. And if any of your monsters for hire is destroyed by opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 monster for hire from your deck. Mayhem is a quick play monster reborn. Rookie is a quick play that tributes a monster with a level, then summon a monster for hire from your deck or hand whose level is 1 lower or higher than the tributed monster, with the additional lock of unable to declare attacks except with monsters for hire. A Storm for hire is a quick play where while there's no monsters on your side of the field, you're able to summon 1 level 4 or lower for hire monster from your deck. Then, if your opponents control 2 or more monsters, you can summon 1 for hire from your deck. You are locked out from summoning other monsters except for hires for the rest of the turn. Training for hire is a continuous trap that upon your monster for hire with a level that is destroyed by battle or card effects, you can target one of the names and summon any monster for hire with a level lower than that monster. Secret Technique for hire is a normal trap that targets face-up monsters on the field up to the number of different name for hires you control. Destroy them, but if you control a Link 3 and the level 8 for hire, essentially Folgo and Rafale, you can banish them instead. If you summon either a Link 3 or a level 8 for hire while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. Once more, the priority numbers. Fandora is an excellent semi-starter because Fandora alone cannot combo off and usually require another for hire name in hand to get to a decent board state. Mayhem is generally a one-off, while Rookie is used to dodge targeted negate or get any names you can't cycle yet. Due to the presence of Fandora, Rookie can be cut off from the list, but you can still play it in the bigger engine deck list. Storm is a good starter card for the archetype and an even better card going second. Going first, you're able to kickstart your combos with a 1.5 card combo, while going second, it can act as a board breaker, a must include. Before Burst Protocol supports, the general engine lineup the for hire consists of 3 Rex, 1 Beat, 1 Domba, 1 Rafale, 1 Rookie with 3 Fossil Dicks, and optionally Mayhem. where you want to open Rex in your starting hand with one free body on the field that's not a warrior, which nets you a pop, and post-burst protocol, the starter lineup has been vastly improved. You want to open a 1 to 2 combination of these cards together with sometimes a discard or a free body. If you did not open any of these cards, fret not. As mentioned in the case of Keel and Folgo, you are able to pivot into your Fur Hire engine side with only 2 to 3 bodies with different types on board, preferably without having used your normal summon yet. Your general goal is to get Folgo and Donpa onto the field with Rex in your graveyard with another Fur Hire name, preferably Rafal. Alternatively, Folgo plus any other Fur Hire name while the trap is set and the same graveyard state. Any more than that are very beneficial bonuses and raises the end board ceiling for you. First, I will show you the 1-card combo possible with only Rex. With a single Rex, you are able to make a board to destroy 1 face-up cards and draw 3 cards. The draw 3 being any other Fur Hire name can be summoned with Keel's graveyard effect. Next up is a 1.5 card combo with only Storm in the discard. Storm summoning condition of needing a clear field zone can be met with 3 ways in the regular Fur Hire combo. First, at the start of your turn where you control no monsters automatically. Uruki's effect to tribute for cost and leaving you a window to use Storm, and Donner's second effect to tribute for cost. So if you're afraid of the Storm locks, you have 3 options at most to choose from when you would like to use it. Finally, a combo where you open no Fur Hire cards. I will be using the Millennium cards to put 2 bodies on board without using the normal summon here. Upon using Fandora, you have 2 options you can take here, either searching for Beat or Rex. Many of the combos I showed you gives you a small window overall up to the bread and butter of the Fur Hire. As the duel goes, many of their plays and lines are often extremely dependent on the Folgo's draws, Rafal's Excavate, and Rex's Gales' draws, what kind of deck your opponent plays, and so on. The Archetype's main selling point is that their variety and flexible jack of all trades, master of none. I highly advise you to play the deck pure to get yourself familiar with each of the monster effects before beginning to add any other engines into the deck. Speaking of engines, synergies. The jack of all trade nature of Fur Hire means that they have niche and distinctive synergies that they can tap from other archetypes to further their plays. Both Rexes being Fawcett targets, for example. Rhoda for Beat, Philo for Riddleless Recital Starling, or 1 for 1. Donpa and Recon can be searched by Noble Knight Shield Bearer, which can be rotated. Seal can be searched by Fire Formation Tanky. Wiz being essentially Dark Magician, so she can be used with Dark Magician's Soul. And Rafal has Blue Eyes, White Dragons, types, and attributes. There are so many more, but you get the idea. In terms of other archetype or engines you can use in tandem with the Fur Hire, there are again many, but I will list some relevant ones as of writing this. Runic, Sprite, Radiant Storm, K9, Fiendsmith, Hecka Hands, Doodle Beast, Sky Striker, Punk, Kashtira, Danger, Bestials, and many more I may have missed. Overall, the archetype is incredibly strong and is able to go toe-to-toe with other archetypes and keep up with the modern speed of Yugioh. That is to say, they are not without drawbacks and weaknesses. It all comes down to the duelists to take these skyfaring adventures to the limit. And I hope this video encouraged you to give Fur Hire a try. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye!